Okay, I'm going to continue our lesson on the modes. In the first two lessons, the first lesson we talked about the modes, the names of the modes. And I shared with you the 7 modes relative to the key of C. In other words, these are all the modes that share the same key signature as C. No sharps, no flats. For example, D to D, all white keys on the piano is D Dorian, but it's relative to C major. E Phrygian, F Lydian, G Mixolydian. If you haven't seen that one, go back a couple videos and watch it. Then we talked about the formulas, how to create those scales, or how we came about them, and I used whole steps and half steps to notate the formulas. So, for example, a C major scale was whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. A D Dorian scale would be whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step. And so if we take those formulas now what I want to do is I want to create parallel scales, okay? And what we can do is just even on a piece of paper, we could write CDEFGABC 7 times on a piece of paper and leave a little space in between them because we're going to put some sharps and flats in there. And what I'm going to do is use the formulas we talked about in the last lesson, and I'm going to create 7 C scales. I'm going to create C major, C Dorian, C Phrygian, C Lydian, C Mixolydian, C minor, and C Locrian. All of them will be parallel because they all will contain C's, D's, E's, F's, and G's, A, B's, and C's. But some of them will have flats and sharps and such. So let's start with the C major. We already know that one. C. So whole step, half step, whole step, half step is the formula for a major scale. Okay, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. All right, that's easy. Next one. Okay, the formula for a Dorian scale was whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step. Okay, so that would be C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat, C. Okay, one more time. C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat, and C. You'll notice there's 2 flats in there, E flat and B flat. That means that the parallel scale, or the relative scale to C Dorian, would be B flat major. That's the scale that has 2 flats. That's the major key that has 2 flats. Okay, next one, C Phrygian. Okay, that one starts with a half step. Whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. Okay, and that would be C, D flat, E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, and C. All right, and so if you were to look for the relative major scale for that, that's 4 flats in there. There's a D flat, there's an E flat, there's an A flat, and there's a B flat. The major key that has 4 flats is A flat major. So C Phrygian is relative to A flat major scale. Okay, so C Phrygian is the same as playing A flat major starting on A flat major's 3rd note, which is C. Okay, next one. Lydian, C Lydian. Okay, this is going to be the only one of the ones that we do that actually has a sharp in it. Okay, we want a whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step. Okay, and that would be C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C. Okay, and what key has 1 sharp? The key of G. So the relative major for C Lydian is G major. Does that make sense? All right, next one, C Mixolydian. Okay, this one's very much like a major scale except for the last couple intervals. It starts out whole, whole, half, whole, whole, half, whole. Okay, so it even sounds like a major scale until you get to the 7th note. C major scale would be C Mixolydian scale is, so it's C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C. Okay, we have only 1 flat there. Very common scale to use over a C7 chord. That is relative to the key of F. The key with 1 flat is F major. Okay, we got a couple more. C minor. Okay, we start with a whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. Okay, that would be C, and then D, E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, and C. Okay? And that has 3 flats, and the major scale for that's relative to C minor is E flat major. Okay. Okay. Just go down a couple more notes and we get to the C. Okay. All right. Last one, C Locrian. Again, kind of a theoretical scale. This one has a lot of flats. Okay. It's going to be half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step. Okay. And that's C, D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C. Kind of a cool scale, and it has the same number of flats as the key of D flat, right next door. Okay, so D flat major and C Locrian is, oops. Okay. And C Locrian, like all Locrians, want to keep going until they get to that last note to resolve to the major scale. Okay, so let's just review. C major's relative major is C major. Okay, C Dorian's relative major was B flat major. C Phrygian's relative major was A flat major. And C Lydian's relative major was G major, 1 sharp. C Mixolydian's relative major was F major. And C minor, its relative major is E flat major. And then C Locrian, the last one, its relative major was D flat major. So the order of those was kind of interesting. It went from C to B flat to A flat to G to F to E flat to D flat, kind of descending. As we went up the modes, the relative major scales kind of descended in a descending pattern. So I love patterns. I love to see that kind of stuff. It helps me remember things. I hope it helps with you. I hope this was helpful. And we're going to talk more about the modes. We're going to go individually through them and kind of talk about the sound and the flavor of them in the future. Thank you. God bless you.